This time, we continued our operation in Georgia, aiming to test the effectiveness of large steel cage traps in a completely new area. The trap was set very early in the morning, directly along one of the wild hogs' regular travel routes. But what the cameras recorded was completely different from what we expected. The hogs stopped at a safe distance, constantly circling around the trap. Some even walked very close before suddenly turning away. It was obvious they had become extremely cautious of this type of trap. That forced us to change tactics. But the real question was, would a larger trap make them lower their guard? Or had they already become too smart to make the same mistake twice? The first cage trap was placed right along the edge of a dense forest, almost the perfect location, where wild hog tracks appeared everywhere and their movement routes barely changed. Because of that, we had very high expectations for this setup. But when we returned to inspect it, everyone froze for a moment. Inside the large steel cage, there was only a single wild hog, an almost unbelievable result, especially for such a perfect location. The herd had clearly been there, but somehow most of them still managed to avoid the trap completely. And that only confirmed one thing: they were becoming far more cautious than we had expected. When the forest edge stopped producing the results we wanted, we had no choice but to move deeper inside. This time, the trap was installed far more carefully, heavily camouflaged to blend naturally into the surroundings before being left open. And exactly as planned, the wild hogs moved deep into the cage without showing any signs of suspicion, allowing the trigger mechanism to activate perfectly. Without wasting time, we returned to the location early the next morning. Even from a distance, the movement inside the trap already showed that this result was completely different. As we approached, the entire herd had been captured inside the large cage trap. We quickly secured the situation and removed every hog inside, a well-earned result after changing our strategy. The third cage trap was placed on a wide green field west of the forest, an area where the wild hogs regularly came out to feed after dark. Everything was completed neatly before we left, allowing the trap to remain as natural as possible. But this time, we did not have to wait until morning. The moment the camera alert came through, we knew the trap had been triggered. Without hesitation, the entire team immediately rushed toward the location during the night. Even from far away, the constant movement inside showed that this was far more than just a few isolated hogs. As soon as we arrived, the situation became completely clear. We quickly secured the area and handled the trapped wild hogs before leaving the site and preparing for the next locations. The final cage trap was placed on a grassy field about 3 kilometers south of the farm, a more isolated area with less disturbance, where wild hog activity was usually much heavier. The trap was installed early in the morning, with everything carefully prepared before we left. no time to hesitate. The team immediately moved toward the trap location. The closer we got, the more violent the movement inside became, making it obvious this was another major catch. As soon as we arrived, we quickly secured the situation and removed all the wild hogs inside, bringing the final trap operation to a complete success. When the last trap had finally been cleared, our entire operation in Georgia also came to an end. From the early failures with smaller traps to the shift toward large steel cage systems, everything gradually began turning in our favor. Not every location delivered the results we expected, but with the right adjustments, the wild hogs eventually made mistakes again. Hip. There we go. And clearly, this time, we had found a way to lower their guard. But looking at the fresh tracks, still scattered around, I knew one thing for certain. This battle is far from over.
Wild boars don't move randomly. They don't appear out of sudden hunger or wander into fields by accident. Every footprint in the mud, every patch of upturned soil is the trace of a habit repeated night after night. At precise times, along familiar trails, the herd quietly leaves the forest, weaving through low trees toward harvested fields. Recognizing these recurring patterns is key to designing safe, responsible, and effective long-term control measures before damage occurs. After nights of observation, patterns emerge. Boars move in groups, always with a lead boar scouting the path. This lead individual doesn't rush into the fields. It stops, sniffs the wind, listens. Only when the environment is calm does the herd follow out of the forest. This behavior is not random. It's survival instinct developed over time. That's why effective control programs always begin with observation, not hasty intervention.
Because hogs are very...
Direct pursuit often backfires. Noise scatters the herd, expands the area of intrusion, and increases risk to nearby residents. Modern control focuses on guiding behavior rather than confrontation. Net traps were chosen for their flexibility and adaptability to terrain. Crucially, this method allows precise control over numbers within a pre-planned area without causing panic or destabilizing the surrounding environment. A common mistake is placing traps along fast escape routes. The most effective placement is where the herd tends to pause, familiar feeding grounds, post-harvest fields, or open spaces at forest edges they often return to. The net is preset during the day, appearing open and familiar. From a distance, it blends naturally with the terrain, avoiding any sense of being blocked or forced. Feed is spread from the outer edge inward, guiding the boars seamlessly into the center.
Peanut.
At night, the herd arrives as predicted. The lead boar enters first, cautiously checking the surroundings, then begins foraging. The trap's effectiveness comes not from sudden reactions, but from understanding and leveraging the herd's natural nocturnal rhythm, foundational to behavior-based control. In low-lying, damp fields, boars often stop to wallow and cool off. These are moments when they are least alert, offering the best opportunity to manage the herd with minimal stress, reducing risk of chaotic reactions. Between cultivated areas, where the herd pauses before scattering, net traps prevent widespread damage across multiple fields. This approach reduces both labor and costs for farmers, while minimizing the need for heavy-handed intervention.
They don't want them. Look at that. Look at that trap, y'all. No, settle down.
The next morning, no new tracks appear. The usual trails are empty, and the previous point of entry is noticeably calm. Specialized vehicles are deployed to transport the captured boars under licensed wildlife management protocols. The process strictly follows community safety, legal, and environmental regulations. Data is recorded to support long-term monitoring and prevent reinfestation. Afterward, traps and surrounding areas are carefully dismantled, leaving no trace that could attract other herds.
What you got up there, dude? Huh?
Net traps are not about showing force. They re-establish boundaries. When familiar paths are no longer safe, wild boars must adjust their behavior. This adjustment reduces pressure on crops, farms, and human livelihoods. Control is not confrontation. It's proactive boundary management, where humans manage shared spaces before damage forces reactive measures. Like and subscribe to follow our journey in protecting this land.
Hit that gate, Chip.
In Texas, wild hogs are pushing closer and closer to residential areas, showing up in backyards, roaming suburban streets. They destroy crops, disrupt daily life, and create growing concerns for public safety. Faced with this reality, many communities are choosing a different path. No gunfire, no open hunts. Instead, smart wild hog trapping systems. Can this approach really help manage such a complex and dangerous problem? Let's take a closer look. Unlike traditional hunting, modern trapping systems are built on one core principle: capture alive, control precisely, and protect public safety. Large corral-style traps, often monitored remotely by cameras, allow wildlife control teams to observe entire sounders as they slowly enter, one by one, step by step, following their natural movement patterns. And when the moment is right, the gate drops silently. No gunshots, no chaos. No gunfire means no panic in nearby neighborhoods, no stray bullets, no unnecessary injuries. Footage shows fully grown wild boars, some weighing over 300 pounds, 136 kilograms, secured safely without serious injury. This isn't reckless killing. This is targeted population control, reducing human-wildlife conflict while minimizing unnecessary suffering. For communities that value both public safety and humane treatment of animals, this marks a major shift in how wildlife is managed.